Burn Nation, what is up? And welcome back to the Burn Bootcamp podcast. We are coming at you with another episode, this time from Bentonville, Arkansas. And we have an amazing guest today, a member, Erica from Butu. And we are so excited to have you. Thank you for being here, dude.
Thank you, Devin.
I am pumped up. And I have your transformation story right here. And I'm excited for you to read this because I think it's really going to inspire a lot of people out there. And you're just meeting you for the first 5 minutes here. Your energy is super infectious, and I know that you bring that into the gym, and you're a leader in the gym, and that's why when I asked the team, I said, hey guys, where's one member that I could sit down and speak with that would embody what we're about here? And it was like Erica, really quickly. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
How are you feeling today?
Amazing.
Good.
Like amazing and fantastic. They always ask every time we come in, like, hey, how's it going? And I think it was just yesterday. I said, well, look, if I was doing any better, I wouldn't be able to stand myself.
We're gonna quote that. We're gonna tweet that.
Yep.
It's gonna be a tweet. I love you. We could have like a 3-hour conversation and just have a lot of fun. I know that. So this is your transformation story.
Yeah.
In all of our gyms, we have transformation stories on the wall, and it's really a transformation mentally, emotionally, sometimes physically, but not so often. It's not the traditional sense of like what it means to like lose weight and body fat and that. It's really like a 360 approach, and I'm excited to dive into this. So why don't you go ahead and just read from this verbatim, and then we'll talk about it and get to know you a little bit better, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
So burn came to me at a time in my life when I desperately needed. I was a new mom with a demanding career, feeling lost and not recognizing myself. During a middle of the night feeding, I saw a short video on Facebook advertising a 6-week Commit to Fit challenge, and I just knew I had to do it. I have never liked exercise or been physically fit, so the idea of boot camp workouts terrified me. But my Burn sisters welcomed me with open arms. With the encouragement I received after showing up each day, all of my doubts, worries, and anxieties just melted away. Burn has changed my life by making me realize that it's okay to take time for myself to focus on my mental and physical health, and that I am strong and can do anything that I set my mind to. Deciding to make the commitment to myself, I've noticed how my body has changed since January, and this was, I don't even know when I wrote this, but since January, I've been down 33 pounds, down 6 inches in my waist, and 9% body fat. I now have definition in my body that I feel stronger, my clothes fit differently, and I now have confidence in what I'm able to do. Most importantly, I now feel that I can be a role model for my daughter and teach her how to become a confident, strong, and healthy woman. Burn and everyone here has given me a sense of community and a place where I feel I belong. And for that, I'm eternally grateful.
Erica, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That's incredible. Yeah. And you're reading that, honestly, like a professional script reader too. Like you're so good with your voice inflections. I'm gonna take this away and I'm gonna learn something from you today too. Just picking a couple things out of there and kind of using that as the jumping platform for this podcast. Let's start here. Let's start where, there's a lot of things in here I want to unpack, but I need to know your background first. So, you said like, you made it seem that there was a version of you in the past that wasn't as confident as you are today. And how did you get, how did that manifest itself? Kind of maybe the old mentality versus the new mentality? What led up to that old mentality, and what was that trigger point? I know I'm asking a bunch of questions at once, but what was the trigger point for you to be like, not me, never again, I'm doing this, right? We mentioned that you got that ad, but like, talk to me about how you got to this point, okay?
Oh, yeah. So I did say I've never been into physical activity. I am from East St. Louis, Illinois.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know much about East St. Louis, but it is a poverty-stricken area where where we're just not taught the healthy ways of living, whether that's really mentally, or physically, right? Either you are an athlete or you're not. And I was not an athlete. It's a place where if you're an athlete, you make it out, and if you're not, it's a struggle. So growing up, I didn't particularly have the team mentality of just exercising and taking care of myself physically. I'm a product of a single parent. My mom is the strongest person I know. mentally, so she equipped me with that. But just the physical aspect wasn't there. Fast forward, I moved here as an adult. I just group fitness or the thought of being able to do a push-up. I was like, no, I can't do that. So I shied away because I always told myself I couldn't do it. I always have confidence in others, but in myself, I always was a really big struggle.
Yeah.
I'm your biggest hype person.
Oh, let's go.
But me, on the other hand, it's always been hard.
Right. Giving away to everybody else and not pouring into yourself.
And not pouring into myself.
Yep.
So after I had my daughter, and at the time I had my daughter, I remember seeing that Facebook ad like it was yesterday. It was in the middle of the night, you know, new mom, starting a whole new journey in my life, not knowing what's getting ready to happen. I saw the Facebook ad, and the next day, I was in the parking lot, and I don't know how I got here. When I showed up, I had my baby in the carrier, and I walked through the door, and I saw Renee, and I just said, I saw the ad, and I don't know what to do. I need help. That video triggered and let me know, like, it brought me from a fall. Postpartum depression is something that is now being talked about more, and I'm happy it is. I now recognize that I suffered severely from postpartum, and I would say that was my trigger point.
I got it. Okay.
Knowing that I knew when I looked in the mirror, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know. A lot of times I didn't really know where I was. I didn't know. I was existing. I wasn't living. I was just existing.
And it probably has some unconscious fear built into, like, I have this daughter now.
So much fear.
Right? And like, am I going to be this person that she's going to look, am I somebody that she would look up to? Was were those thoughts going through your head at the time?
Absolutely. And I came in here and I just saw a gym full of women throwing around heavy weights. And I felt like I could do it. I knew this was my space. Renee took my baby and set her down and said, okay, I can help you. Like, okay, let's sign up. And the very next day, I was here. Child Watch is amazing. I tell everybody because that's the first introduction. Those are the first people that I left my baby with in 4 months.
Wow. You have to have a lot of trust to do that,
I left her in Child Watch, and it was only 45 minutes, but 45 minutes is an eternity.
Yeah. You were probably looking over there every 5 seconds,
And I cried the entire workout.
Wow. Okay.
Because I couldn't do a push-up.
Yeah.
I had to lift 10-pound weights. I couldn't, if we talk about starting from the bottom, I was there. And I cried through the whole workout, but I was here. But I came back.
Right.
Because I had a burn sister, Suzanne Barr, tell me that day, you can do this. Welcome, girl. Hey, you did awesome.
Oh, okay.
All you got to do is come back. I'll see you tomorrow. And it was that push from Suzanne that got me here the next day, and the environment, and
somebody seeing you, recognizing
and
you
saying
for your
that I
ability.
can do this, that actually telling me that I can do this because I never thought I could.
Right.
I actually had all intentions of not coming back, to be clear. I had intentions of like, no, I am not going to be able to do this. But she said I could, and I did. I did the 4 weeks, but after that, I had to start back work because I work. And I have a pretty demanding career. So I started back work, and with a new baby and daycare, I couldn't quite get it off. I didn't get it off it couldn't all fit. And then COVID happened, right? So
Don't remind me.
I know. COVID happened, and I said the 4 weeks happened again, the challenge happened again. I signed up and I said I'm coming back, and I'm never leaving again. As soon as I came back in 20, and the challenge started, I knew that I would not walk out of those doors forever again.
Yeah.
And
here you are.
Here I am.
And you just
loving
you know, I'm kind of putting the threads together in your life, and it's like you're this outwardly, overly encouraging person to other people, but that kind of drains your energy. And you know, the trigger point was like, hey, realizing that my energy was drained and how this is like affecting my psychology and potentially my ability to be a role model for my family. And then all of a sudden you use that as a jumping point to come in, and you metaphorically give your baby to Renee as like, I trust you, like this is my vote of trust, please help me.
Yeah.
And then Suzanne was her name, right?
Yes.
And then Suzanne says, hey, you got this, girl. And like, I'm sure now now you're paying the same thing Suzanne paid to you, that
Mm-hmm.
you're paying that forward to other people.
so.
The only difference now is you actually believe, you encourage yourself now, it seems like, much
Absolutely.
more than you used to, yeah?
Absolutely, I absolutely do, and it's just from coming here, and knowing and seeing what I can do. Every camp, there's something different. They always say, our trainers always say, work a little bit harder each camp.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, whatever it is you want to work on, whatever it is, we want to leave every camp doing something you didn't think you could do or something you didn't do before.
Do you know how happy that makes my heart
It
when
should.
you say that?
It should.
Well, our trainers are the best in the world.
They are.
And the best in the world. And,
They are.
And here in Bentonville, and I mean, every gym that we have in this great state is amazing.
Oh man.
You were just talking about that offline, like
Yeah.
how amazing it all is, and you're just at the center of all of that. So what is the compound effect of the encouragement that comes from that community? How does that maybe give you a different outlook of the future? How's your vision for your life changed since surrounding yourself with all of this positivity, this encouragement, the optimism, like all the things like out in the real
Yeah.
world don't exist. You know, most of it's negative. Most of it's like tearing people's buildings down to have the tallest building rather than just trying to build one up. So does that make sense? Does that question make sense? Like,
it does.
Yeah, go ahead.
It does. I am a person that Burns speaks to me for a lot of different reasons, right? So it's my story, and it tells me like everybody here pours into me, and reminds me when I doubt myself. They remind me that I too really can do this, right? But I am a person that really does speak power into words, and which is also another reason why I like to say life is a sandwich, right? So nobody has time to waste calories and carbs on a bad sandwich. You need to, so if you're gonna eat a sandwich, you need to put all the good things in it. And that's what your mind is. Your mind, like you think of your mind like a sandwich. You just put all the good stuff in it so that you feel good. And our trainers absolutely do that for me. But when it goes out into the real world, it really is, every day I choose joy. That's what I say. Every day I have to choose joy. Because if I don't, like you have two choices. You can either choose joy or be miserable, and we only have one time on this earth.
Amen.
And so in order for us to just live it fully, not exist in it, because remember at one point I existed in it, in order to really live it, like we just gotta try to figure out how to be happy. And surround yourself. It's about surrounding yourself with those people that can help you feel happy. Because every day, somebody just asked me yesterday, how do you do this? How do you come in every day with a smile on your face and is so happy? And I say, well, it's a choice, but it's not easy. Because you'll look and you'll say, oh, well, her life has to be perfect. It's not. It's hard. Like it's real hard. But when you surround yourself with the people that are there to help pick you up when you feel like you can't stand, to just hold you up when you feel like you can't stand up, that's how we move forward. And that's what this community is.
Well, I was just going to let you keep going because you're just preaching to me, and I'm getting all the chills and the vibes and all the things. And you're speaking truth, right?
Life is hard,
it's a choice.
hard.
Yeah, it's a choice.
Damn it.
It's a choice to be happy. Yeah.
It's hard. I broke my leg last year or the year before. I broke my leg. I was in the best shape of my life right after my transformation story. Freak accident and broke my leg. And I couldn't walk for 4 months, like on crutches, non-weight bearing. But this community, like that was a time where I could have easily gone into a hole.
Yes.
And
use
never
that. Use that to
use that as a time to just go into a hole and never come
And
out.
nobody would have said anything about it that loved you in your life because you got a broken leg.
Because I have a broken leg,
Yeah.
except for this community.
Yeah.
Except for the Renees that bringing my baby a bag full of toys and just coming to sit on the couch and just shoot just talk with me.
I know where you're going with that.
I
Shoot it.
forgot we were on the podcast for like 1 second.
It would not be the first time that has
I
happened.
forgot for like 1 second we were on the podcast. Coming, or like all the encouraging notes. Burn Sister sending gift cards so that my husband, we didn't have to figure out, so we could have healthy things to eat. And he didn't have to figure that out. Just Burn Sisters dropping by, come sitting next to my pool I couldn't get in for a little while just to talk with me. And that is what we've built here. And that's why this is a place. And I know it's like that in other locations. And so that is what you've helped to create along the way. That's just unlike anything that I've ever been a part of.
Well, I'm happy to hear you say that. And I think about this organization as a tool. It's a tool for you.
Yeah.
It's a powerful tool.
Yeah.
Right? But you use it. Yeah. You have to pick it up and use it. Yeah. And you walking through those doors every day is, that metaphorical one step in front of the other, walking up this, you said life is hard. I think about it as it's like life is really hard. In fact, it's so hard that you climb up the hill and then you slide back down perpetually, over and over, over and over. And everybody's got a steep slope and nobody's as easy. And everybody's got a steep slope. And so I just, as I'm thinking how I want to wrap this up, I keep going back to your daughter because that's what pulled you in that's what kind of triggered you in the first place, right? And so I'd like to finish with a question, and please, we're not crunched for time or anything, so elaborate as much as you need to. What do you hope? What's your daughter's name, by the way?
Niobe.
Niobe.
Yes.
What do you hope Niobe says about her mom in 20 years from today?
Okay, so today I'll tell you that they asked her at school, what does her mom do? And she goes, oh, my mom goes to the gym.
Full-time job?
My daddy goes to work and my mom goes to the gym. And so I'm like, but I work too. But okay, cool. I can be fine with the fact that you tell people that your mommy goes to the gym, because I do. And she knows what gym. She says Burn.
Okay. Good.
She says Burn Gym.
Okay.
So
good.
That's really cool. That shows you how much she comes here.
Yeah.
What do I want her to say 20 years from now? I want her to say that my mommy was my real life superhero. Because my mommy taught me that I could do anything. Even if it takes, with the help, and that it's okay to have help from others. My mommy taught me to be an amazing person, to believe in myself, but also to believe in myself as much as I believe in others. That's what I want her to say.
That's very powerful.
I spoke about my mom for 1 second earlier, in that she was a single mom. We struggled. We financially struggled mightily. And she was a single mom with my brother and I, raising my brother and I. And what I learned from my mom was I saw my mom being strong because she had to be. There was no other option.
Necessary.
It was necessary.
Yeah.
We had to eat. We had to have housing. She did that because she had to be, but it was taxing. I know how hard that she worked to be so strong. I want my baby to know that, or to see that I am strong, and it's not because I have to be, it's because we are. I want her to see me mentally and physically strong.
Yes.
And not just me, but have the role models around her to continue to lift her up and pour into her and make sure she knows that even though life is hard and it is a mountain, we take everything one day at a time, one step at a time, hell, even 1 minute at a time sometimes, but that we always keep going.
Yep. Yeah. It's powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful.
I want her to know that.
That is very well articulated.
Oh gosh, thank you.
You gotta keep that clip for the future. 20 years from today, you gotta play that back. Yeah.
That girl.
Yeah. Well, listen, I've really enjoyed this conversation, getting to know you a little bit. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your story and opening up, because there's thousands of people watching and listening to this right now that are moved by you. I'm moved by you. There's people that are in the building right now that no one can see on camera. They're all moved by you. I keep seeing them over there tearing up and shaking their heads and crying, and that's because you're a powerful woman. You have power. You have a powerful attitude and an infectious attitude, and you make this community better. So thank you very much. I think that's a good place to end.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for coming
Yes,
and for
I love
having
it.
me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And we're about to work out too, right?
Yeah, we are.
All right, we got 15 minutes to get it right.
It's Crystal. God. She don't let up.
She doesn't, no.
She does not let
And
you
she's had some practice reps this morning too already with this workout, so she's really gonna
She
bring it
don't
today.
let you let up.